Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Carol Mabry from the Maine Cat Lab, and today we'll be talking about the remarkable history and the personality traits of tabby cats. Tabbies made up about 13%, about 200 of the cats in our sample of the 1,500 cats that we studied this past spring. They were a notable group in that they were low in neuroticism, so quite emotionally stable and moderate on extroversion. The very first cats of the White House arrived in 1862. Famously, President Abraham Lincoln was extremely fond of his two cats, Tabby and Dixie, who, according to the Presidential Pet Museum website, were gifts from his Secretary of State, William Seward, in 1862. Lincoln once said of his Tabby Dixie, "She's smarter than my whole cabinet, and furthermore, she doesn't talk back." Lincoln drew much solace from his friendship with the two cats, and also drew criticism from his wife, Mary Todd Lincoln, when he fed Tabby from the table at a formal state dinner. When she scolded Lincoln afterwards for the breach of decorum, he reportedly replied, "If a gold fork is good enough for former President Buchanan, it's good enough for Tabby." And there is more evidence of Lincoln's affinity for cats. Shortly after signing the Emancipation Proclamation, Lincoln was visiting General Grant in the field when the president came across three motherless kittens. Colonel Horace Porter watched Lincoln during this encounter and later wrote, he would wipe their eyes tenderly with his handkerchief, stroke their smooth coats, and listen to them purr their gratitude to him. Here we were at an Army headquarters upon the eve of a great military crisis in the nation's history, and to see the hand which had affixed the signature to the Emancipation Proclamation and had signed the commissions from General-in-Chief to the lowliest lieutenant, tenderly caressing three stray kittens. Fast forward to 2020, and on the eve of another historical election, a stray tabby famously made her way onto the stage where First Lady Dr. Jill Biden, future First Lady, was speaking and claimed space in the first row to hear the future First Lady's speech. A few months later, Willow, who was being fostered by a local farming family and was up for adoption, was offered for adoption to the president's wife and became the 11th cat to live with a president in the White House. Speaking of history, what is a tabby and how did they get their name? A tabby cat is identified by its unique coat color and pattern rather than by cat breed. The classic tabby coat has stripes on the face and body, sometimes with spots or ripples, and has a trademark M on its forehead. The M has been explained as standing for Mao, the Egyptian word for cat. The other explanation is that it's the mark of the Virgin Mary. Though there are no biblical references to this common assumption, the story goes that when a cat crawled into the manger to comfort baby Jesus, Mary stroked the cat's forehead and left the M mark as her fingerprint. As we see from this recent video of a tabby that casually strolled onto the stage during a formal concert in Istanbul, tabbies, like all cats, can be ungovernable. We have studied many traits, the big five personality traits, and have good validity on that in our cat laboratory, but we have yet to establish a valid test for governability. So if you have some ideas on how we might measure the governability degree of a cat, let us know in the comments. We do have confirmation that the origin of the word tabby is based upon the fact that the cat's coat represents a beautiful cloth that originated in the 1300s in the Tabby district of Baghdad. This prized silk was shortened to tabbas by French importers, and the fabric similarity to these special cats resulted in the tabby term, which has now been in use for more than 700 years. So please let us know your beloved tabby's name in the comments below so we can share and find some commonality, inspiration for those folks who are adopting tabbies. They seem to have a really strong sense of themselves and seem unintimidated. History notes by famous individuals. Instead, they seem to, like many cats, seek out those that will help and are kind. Have you ever had that happen? Your shy cat who suddenly adopts an individual who visits your home and anoints them with their presence, and you have a newfound sense of confidence in the person's character. So some of the tabby names in our sample include Obi-Wan Kenobi, Frodo, Mr. Chow Chow, Enrico, Opie, Meow Meow, and Pimp. Thanks for watching, and please click and subscribe for more cat science reports from the University of Maine Farmington Cat Lab. Hope you have a great week.